Freedom is the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves. Most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. There's no freedom quite like the freedom of being constantly underestimated. Freedom is the right to write the wrong words. Life without liberty is like a body without spirit. Better to die fighting for freedom than be a prisoner all the days of your life. Freedom cannot be given. It can only be taken away. Freedom is not something that anybody can be given. Freedom is something people take, and people are as free as they want to be. Freedom is something that dies unless it's used. The secret of freedom lies in educating people, whereas the secret of tyranny is in keeping them ignorant. The enemies of freedom do not argue. They shout and they shoot. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right. The only real prison is fear, and the only real freedom is freedom from fear. The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. You can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. I hope for nothing. I fear nothing. I am free. I am no bird and no net ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will. I have found both freedom and safety in my madness, the freedom of loneliness and the safety from being understood. For those who understand us, enslave something in us. Freedom is the oxygen without which science cannot breathe. Freedom means the opportunity to be what we never thought we would be. When a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. If we don't believe in freedom of expression for people we despise, we don't believe in it at all. The secret of happiness is freedom. The secret of freedom is courage. I prefer liberty with danger than peace with slavery. No one outside ourselves can rule us inwardly. When we know this, we become free. To enjoy freedom, we have to control ourselves. Freedom is fragile and must be protected. To sacrifice it, even as a temporary measure, is to betray it. We must be free, not because we claim freedom, but because we practice it. Lock up your libraries if you like, but there is no gate, no lock, no bolt that you can set upon the freedom of my mind. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought which they seldom use. Expose yourself to your deepest fear. After that, fear has no power, and the fear of freedom shrinks and vanishes. You are free. You can have peace, or you can have freedom. Don't ever count on having both at once. Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must, like men, undergo the fatigue of supporting it. The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. Just living is not enough. One must have sunshine, freedom, and a little flower. Freedom is nothing but a chance to be better. I think about freedom as not only as the absence of oppression, but also the presence of justice and joy. May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right. Freedom is the open window through which pours the sunlight of the human spirit and human dignity. They who can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. The first duty of a man is to think for himself. He who has overcome his fears will truly be free. Tame birds sing of freedom, wild birds fly. I know but one freedom, and that is the freedom of the mind. No man is good enough to be another's master. The great revolution in the history of man, past, present, and future, is the revolution of those determined to be free